sports. It's in the game.
Welcome everybody to round 11 of GFRL season 10. We're here at Saudi Arabia. We've got a total of 8 drivers participating in today's race. What a number. So I hope we get some exciting racing today. As we see Ruby the first across the line, and he sets a 128.3. And next to follow is Pinky. Goes through the final corner onto the main straight and into the pits. Well, next up we have Foles driving for Haas now in as a reserve driver, and he goes across the line, and it's gonna be Oh, sorry, that's Jamie. Who puts a 128-1. And now it's actually gonna be false. Who now goes through the final corner. And he goes to first. And then following him is High Rocks, who goes into third. As Crix has also set his time. He's a little bit slower than the others. And as it stands, Haas will start 1-2 for the main race. Which I can't say I'm happy about, because of course I'm commentating here, but outside of that I would like it, as we see Jeremy go to second place. And Pinky and Wojtek all both in the pit, but now Wojtek will be starting his lap. You see Pinky finishing his in lap, and he will probably make it into the pits now. So yeah, that's our main 6 drivers for now. We see a lot of drivers stacked up behind each other here. Jeremy in no man's land, but he will also likely make it to the pits after this lap. As we're looking at Wojtek in the Red Bull, who is now about to start his lap. Pinky remains in the pits, no sign of any lap he's going to be starting there. Ruby exits the pits to be going on his out lap. To the S's, and he's gonna find Ruby there. Hope that doesn't lead to any impeding. He nicely gets out of the way. Jamie goes across the line into second, taking it back from Jeremy. And he was on a fast lap because it was doing an in lap. That's very nice from him. But still half a second back of his teammate, or stand-in teammate forward. As I remember seeing Wojtek almost had the first fastest sector, but then it was taken away from him. So I'm very excited to see what he's going to do here. He goes to the final corner. It's going to be across the line, and that's going to be a 7th place. I don't think he's going to be happy for that, with that. As Pinky has just started his out lap. And Ruby is now on this fast lap. That he's gonna find there, right in front of him. It's gonna be the one who just passed him with X. He puts a purple first sector. After Red Bull, we just finished his lap. And passes on here at 19. Now on to the third sector. Higher up is also just started his lap. And Jeremy Prix has gone on to outlap. As Ruby goes to the final corner, to the main straight, and he goes across the line, and it's gonna be 4th place, and that's a very good result for him. Now let's see what Higher Ups can do. He's now to the final corner, almost there. Gonna go across the line and up into 3rd place. What a lap! 1:27.7, and that's almost matching Jamie's time, and it's just 17 thousandths of a second under the time of Jeremy. What a gap, or well, no gap really. As we're gonna look at Pinky, who's now also on his lap, but it looks like he's invalidated it. Not very smart of him. And Pinky's gonna put it into the pits. And it looks like Prix is now on a fast lap, and he's improving. So I wonder where he's gonna be going. Jeremy on a quick lap, and he's just put a first purple sector. Jeremy still could be getting the world championship. Is he gonna make up? He's gonna get the fight to Alex. Woo, lucky for him, he's not here today. But the gap is 44 points, so he's gotta win today if he really wants to have a shot at the title. And if he doesn't, then I think if he finishes lower than 3rd place, then it will automatically crown Alex world champion. As he puts his car into 2nd place. What a lap. Okay, so it seems he needs 19 points today's race, which of course without the fastest lap point isn't enough. Means P2 isn't enough anymore, so he gotta win. He has to win today if he wants to have a shot at the title. And then of course it still has to be finished next week. But let's first focus on today's race and see what he can do. Pinky's gonna start his lap now. Ruby is heading out for what I believe the 3rd time, because he's not happy with that P5 and he wants to start higher up there. Paul's currently still provisional pole, but who knows who can take it away from him. Maybe it is Pinky. Maybe he has the car and the pace, but just the first 2 laps weren't it. Maybe it's Jeremy who wants to win today to have a shot at the title. Maybe it's Jamie, his teammate for today. Maybe even a surprise Wojtek, although it would really surprise me if he took pole here in Jeddah. And Pinky goes wide and he invalidates his lap. What a shame. He's really gotta hurry if he's gonna wanna put another lap in before the time is up. So I'm getting asked if I can turn my mic up, which I can't, but I don't know if that's the issue, but I've turned the game's audio down now. This helps. As we see Ruby on a fast lap. There he goes onto the straight, using a lot of battery here. Now with DRS. Oh, the corner where Pinky took it wide, but he just managed to keep the car inside the white lines. As he's now heading onto the end of the straight, into the final corner, onto the main straight again. And what can he do here? Can he take pole? What can he do as Jeremy retires? He thinks he's seen enough as Ruby goes across the line, and it's not enough to improve. It's just 400s below higher rocks, so he could have been at P4 if he just pushed a little bit more. So well, so Jeremy retires. He doesn't think he has a shot at pole anymore, which means realistically Jamie and Higher Rocks are the only two who can still take it away from Foles. So we'll see what happens. So we'll enter the final minute of qualifying, and we have Foles, Jamie, Higher Rocks, Wojtek and Pinky starting a lap, and Crix on a lap. Ruby just finished it, of course. So Crix across the line, and it's gonna be P6. He doesn't improve. So now what can Jamie do? As Wojtek retires, he doesn't believe in it anymore, even though I think he had a shot at P6, but no higher than that. As Jamie has been led by Foles, so that means Foles is probably not gonna be improving anymore. The black and white flag has just been waved, so it's really only Jamie, Higher Rocks who are gonna finish their laps now. As Crix goes across the line, but it's not enough to improve. Jamie now at the final straight before the fourth last corner. He goes through that corner, and can he take it? Can he put his car on pole position here? What is he gonna do? Here he goes across the line, and it's gonna be enough for P2, and I don't think he will be happy that. It's very good performance for the team, but it's not enough. As now we go to Higher Rocks. What can he do? He goes across the line, and it isn't enough. So it's gonna be Foles on pole here today. with Jamie following in P2 and Hyrox in P3, and I think he can be very happy with that. Jamie, I'm sure he would have won the pole here, but Vols was just the clear dominant, and Jeremy starting from P4, it's going to be very difficult for him to win here in the race to still have a shot at the driver's title. So I just realized Gabriel also still has a shot in the title had he shown up here today, but he doesn't, so that automatically rules him out as of the title fight, of course. So let's see what's gonna happen as everybody is preparing their race strategy. Time's ticking down. The race is gonna be starting. We're all set on the grid. We go to 5 red lights. Oh shit, and away we go, but I'm still in the car, so I don't know what happened there. But I'm just gonna retire right now and hope we can instantly get into commentating. And there we go. As the way we go, and Jeremy has overtaken Ruby and Hyrox, who was dropped very much down the order. Ruby putting it to the inside, but Hyrox is not giving up the position, and he pushes Ruby wide. That's gonna be probably reported to the stewards as Ruby goes for it again. But Hyrox not giving up, and he goes to the inside, taking back the position, but Ruby's holding on to the outside. Can he go? And he goes there back to the inside. It's really toe by toe, and it's Ruby still in front. And there goes Pinky now, seeing an opportunity, and he overtakes Hyrox. As Griggs has really fallen down the order, he has probably had an incident with Wojtek, or just something with himself, of course, something stupid. As his drop 3 have really pulled away, you can see the big gap, and it's just Jeremy and the two Hasses. The Hasses, of course, want to score big points for the team today, but Jeremy, as I've mentioned many times now, just wants to get the driver's title. As Pinky is overtaken Ruby now, as Hyrox going back at it at Pinky and is now overtaking him again. And Wojtek maybe seeing an opportunity here to take advantage of this fight, as Pinky is pulling away, and Ruby also doesn't seem to get a shot at it anymore. Wojtek going off track. And the top 3 really nicely here in one shot. All gonna be battling for the win, with no other drivers realistically in contention for the win, unless something happens. You never know. Safety cars and everything can shake the entire grid up, but for now that doesn't seem to be the case. For showing the possible race strategies, the medium tire seems to be the best option to be starting on, and then going either onto one set of hards or a second. Let's just quickly check what tires everybody is on. Everybody is going to be starting on the mediums. So the question is, of course, everybody's going to be switching to the hards. But as Pinky goes wide, and then I see Hyrox having a shot at Ruby again. Now he's lining up, but he's not. He's too far away. So we have to see if there's anybody who's gonna make the bold choice to go for the 2-stop here. It would be not, wouldn't fair be the smartest idea to do because you lose a lot of time in the pit lane. But who knows? As Crix goes wide, and he gets a warning for that, gets a penalty for that. His race is really not going the way he wanted it to, and it's pretty lost already. As Wojtek has basically lost the others, and Ruby also lost Pinky, so it's really just Ruby versus Hyrox, and then it's Jamie versus Jeremy versus Falls. As Jeremy has actually overtaken Jamie, and he's now closing up to Falls, see if he can actually do something, because after all he wants to win here. As he's now with DRS, he's gonna go to the inside. No, it's too far away. As Hyrox and Ruby swap a lot of positions. As Ruby goes wide and Hyrox take the chance to go around the outside, and now hopes to have finally overtaken him, but knowing Ruby is gonna try to go back at it. The following order is now Falls, Jeremy and Jamie all by themselves. Then it's Pinky, then it's Hyrox and Ruby, then it's Wojtek, and then it's Crix, who's like the very back marker. But even though all of his errors and incidents, he's still gonna be scoring 4 points if he's gonna finish in last place, simply because there's no other drivers in this race. So basically showing up here is guaranteed points, so that's a very nice addition here. This Jeremy is really fighting to Falls as he goes with DRS, trying to go to the inside, to the outside, and he takes the lead of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. But there comes Falls aggressively, and they go side by side. Now Falls to the inside, and he keeps the lead. There comes Jeremy at it again. What is happening here? What a fight. As Ruby overtakes Hyrox again, but he does get a 3-second penalty because he's gone outside of the line. That's gonna cost him if he doesn't build the gap to Hyrox. He's gonna still lose the position, and as it stands, also losing the position to Wojtek, who's managed to get back within the second, and now within DRS again. There goes Jeremy. And he goes into the pits for an early pit call. So he's gonna maybe try to get an undercut on the Hasses. We'll see what's gonna happen there. He's now just going into the pit lane, getting his tires changed. Nice pit stop. And he's gonna be probably coming out all the way at the end. As it's Crix now going to the first turn. It's Falls leading the way. Jamie right behind him. Then it's Pinky, Hyrox, then it's Ruby and Wojtek chasing him for P4, or well, P5 virtually. As Wojtek now gets the overtake on Ruby. now he's gonna go hunting after higher rocks because he really seemed to have found the pace back into his car. He seemed to be struggling at the start of the race, but let's see what he can do. As Pinky is the third driver to get a track limit warning, and it's really unnecessary since he's just driving alone. A nice view from above from the Red Bull of Wojtek, and there's Ruby now right behind him. Who's gonna now make a move to the inside, and he's gonna re-overtake, go back to the position, as Fols has now made the call into the pit, as well as Pinky. And now the question is, are Morgan and Five to follow? Higher Rock continues on, Wojtek continues on. Ruby does go into the pits. And now let's see where Jeremy ends up, or where Fols ends up, and he ends up behind Jeremy. So the undercut has succeeded. Wow, I did not expect that. But it's right behind him, and Jeremy does have the better tires, and they make contact, and Jeremy goes into the wall. Luckily he can continue on, but he's not gonna be happy with that. And there's now a big gap between them, as Pinky has also overtaken Jeremy. But that's gonna be really nasty after the race. It's now Jamie leading the way in front of Hyrox and Wojtek, who are the only 3 drivers who haven't pitted yet. And it's Fols, and it's now Pinky virtually at P3, I think, with Jamie expected to be pitting between them. Then it's Jeremy in P4, who is looking to have no shot at any win. And then it's probably Wojtek, then Ruby, and then Hyrox. Oh no, then sorry. So Jeremy. Well, anyways, Jamie heads into the pits. Let's see where he ends up. Wojtek also into the pits, and Hyrox still continuing on. So Jamie drops down. The order gets overtaken. No, Jeremy overtaking Wojtek now, as Ruby ends up in front of Wojtek, so having an overcut, and Jamie ending up in front of Jeremy, but behind Pinky. So Pinky has done a really good job with his pit stop, just making up ground. So he's virtually in second place now, as Jeremy crashes out. What has he done? Has he crashed, or has he just given up? No, there he is, I think. You can see him from Quix's perspective here. Didn't see him there. So that officially crowns Alex as our season 10 world champion. But let's wait with the celebrations until the race is over. So just for your information. As now Hyrox still continuing on for yet another lap. Still waiting to see when he will make the pit stop, and I think he will end up behind Jamie in P5 then. Which will see our podium still be 2 Hasses, but then Pinky in between them instead of Jeremy. But he goes wide, and now Jamie sees an opportunity to go at him. See, he doesn't have the DRS yet, but the gap isn't very large. As Ruby now taking the fight to Wojtek, they don't have Hyrox around, so they'll just have to do it with each other. Prix way behind, but he's just gonna drive his race, just pick up the points and bring it home. Jamie now getting closer and closer to Pinky. I don't think he has DRS yet. He's gonna have to wait maybe until the next corner if he can get a late break in. And does he get DRS now? He does, so he's got DRS on Pinky now. His Hyrox is finally heading into the pits. He goes with DRS, but that's too far away. And where does Hyrox end up? Slow pit stop. And we see Wojtek on the main straight and Ruby as well, as Ruby overtakes Wojtek with Hyrox now heading out of the pits behind them. But he's really close. Can he do something? As now he's right behind them, but he does have the colder tires. As Prix gets himself another time penalty, but it doesn't matter because his race is done for anyway. You see a yellow flag as Prix has crashed. I don't know if he crashed himself out, which would have been very stupid. It would have been 3 points for him. But anyways, that's the third driver who can't finish the race today. And Jamie is now really catching up to Pinky. He's gonna get DRS here again on the main straight. But I think he's gonna be too far away to make a move. And that looks to be the case. It's late braking. Now going through the corner. Seeing, just waiting for Pinky to make a mistake. As Hyrox overtakes Ruby again. But Ruby is gonna try to go back at it. It doesn't seem he can do so. As Wojtek has made a mistake somewhere, so he's now 5 seconds behind Hyrox and Ruby. Pinky still has made a mistake. That's why he's sitting in a comfortable P2 position. Just got Jamie right behind him. As Ruby now has got Hyrox out of reach, so it will be basically P4 secured for him now. The only position that really is in danger is that second position that Jamie would so love to have. As of course Pinky still has that 3-second time penalty, so really he doesn't even have to overtake him on track, he just has to stay within those 3 seconds. And he'll get the position for free. But although I think it would feel a lot better to actually overtake him on track, because that's the fun part. Racing. We now take the time to take a look at Vols, who's just been dominating this race from start to finish. He took pole, He led it from all the way from the start. Had to fight off Jeremy for a bit in the first few laps, but has since been leading and is now sitting at a 3 second gap from Pinky, and he's looking to win it here, which scoring big points for Haas. Jamie now really closing up to Pinky, seeing if he can make a move somewhere, but there doesn't seem to be any space. Pinky goes a little bit wide. And Jamie getting closer and closer, waiting for like just a little more mistake. Pinky. And oh, Pinky spins! And that frees the way for Jamie. He is back on track, but now he's lost Jamie. And Jamie is now, of course, going to be very happy with this, as that basically guarantees P2 for him. And means it's going to be a 1-2 for Haas. Of course, we still got 6 laps left to race, but this could very well be our finishing position. Let me check real quick what that means for the standings. Let's see. That sees skyrocket up to P3 in the standings, as Ruby is the only McLaren here and there's no Mercedes. But Ferrari will still, and Sauber will still stay dominant, even though none of them score points here. And talk about Sauber, of course, we've got our world champion Alex driving for them, who's gonna maybe do a race for fun next week. I'm not sure about that yet, but really, why would he? He's won the title. It's over. As Prix now reporting, I think it was Pinky who was spun like a little bit on lap 1, which causes Prix to drive into him and completely mess up his race. I don't know if it's going to be actually considered Pinky's fault, but that's going to be discussed by the stewards. As for Lucas, yes, I solved today's rule. It was actually quite easy. The gaps all around now, around 5 seconds. Jamie 4.5 seconds, Pinky 5 seconds, Harox 4.8 seconds, Roby almost 10 seconds, and then Wojtek around 20 seconds. top 5 drivers on the current F1 grid. I would say first Max Verstappen, and no, it's not biased. It is just the greatest driver currently on the grid. Just if you see what he's doing with the car, the Red Bull car, that's just so incredibly awful, and just putting the pieces together and winning races with it. Then on P2 I would put Oscar Piastri, who's really looking like a similar driver to Max Verstappen. It's just that he's young and still has to learn a lot, but he's already really impressive what he's doing. Let me think. P3. Probably gonna say Isaac Hadjar for his performances, especially like the podium he recently achieved. Then on P4 I would put probably George Russell, just consistent all around with the Mercedes that isn't even that good, but still P4 in the World Championship. And at P5 Alexander Albon, who is really pushing with the Williams, even though it was Sainz who recently scored the first podium for Williams in a while. I think it was just partially just a good amount of luck. I'm hoping Albon also scores a podium this season. Let me see, 1 Max, okay, fair. 2 Piastri, 3 Leclerc, no, absolutely not. He is really not performing this season. Or do you mean all-time performances? Because then I could agree with it. 4 Norris, 5 Russell. Yeah, okay, that seems fair. And again, Norris not showing up, living up to his potential this season, but especially at the beginning of last season, really shining. And yes, I completely agree that this race is boring. I mean, everybody big gaps to each other. Realistically, not anything gonna change in the finishing order. So, and we're on the final lap anyway. So, just gonna watch Foles finish the lap as a driver. Yeah, okay, that makes a lot more sense. Then I would probably go still 1 Max. I mean, I would want to put Lewis in the top 5. Just not looking at this season. It's very difficult to rank drivers like that. As Foles now going into sector 2 of the final lap, followed by Jamie and Pinky. And Pinky was actually being caught up by Hyrox, who was looking to fight for a podium, but it doesn't look like he's gonna be making it before the end of the lap. He's still got almost 3 seconds to make up. Pinky, I think just 3 seconds. Oh, 3 seconds. I completely forgot about the penalty. Hyrox now out of reach as Foles goes across the line as he wins the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, and look at him celebrate. And now it's gonna be Jamie following, and now it's Hyrox who is caught up back to Pinky, and it's gonna be a podium for him as Pinky finishes the race in P3, but Hyrox goes across the line and Pinky's penalty places him in P3, and he's gonna be really happy with that. But who's the guy who's gonna be the most happy is gonna be Foles, of course, as a reserve driver, stepping in for the empty seat at Haas now, since I don't know who that team principal is, but he clearly doesn't do his job well. can't sign a driver. But he wins, and Jamie after him, make it a 1-2 for Haas, with of course the added luck of Jeremy crashing out and Pinky falling back at the end. And yeah, the Williams driver also really happy with this result. And then it's gonna be a P4 for Pinky, which really should have been a podium for him, to be honest. Although early in the race it looked good. And of course, look at him celebrate. The driver from Northern Ireland gets the trophy. And it's gonna be P5 for Pinky and P6 for Wojtek, if I say correctly. But the main thing I want to address here is that Alex, the G, has just been crowned as Drivers' World Champion. He has not been outscored by 19 points by Jeremy, which means there's no coming back in the final race, and he's gonna be the one. He is the one who wins the season 10 GFRL World Championship. And what a season he's had! It really looked like other drivers would catch up to him, who came here from F1 Total, like Kart Racer and Jeremy, and even Sully put on some great performances. But overall, he has just been dominant all throughout the season, and has now been awarded with the World Drivers title. Anyways, thank you all for today. I was a little poor in the attendance on the race, but it has been a fun one. A little bit boring towards the end, but I hope to see you all next week. Can't promise anything, but until then.